Hi, I'm Mirella.
Hi, I'm Zoe. Welcome to the Critical Obsession podcast.
Today we're reacting to the official trailer of Last Twilight. Are you
What do you,
excited?
I don't know. I have mixed feelings. Like, I remember the pilot trailer and I was like, I thought it was interesting at the time, but then we're finishing up watching Dangerous Romance, and I'm like, can anything top this?
I think we shouldn't compare. I think we're setting ourselves
I'm like already
for
biased.
yeah, no. I'm ready to like this. I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see their acting in this new series, Jimmy and C. I saw parts of vice versa.
Same parts.
I
Yeah.
have an issue. I cannot finish a series usually. So when I get obsessed with something, it's serious because usually I skip so much and I lose my patience. I cannot finish an episode without like jumping through it. That, for example, with Dangerous Romance, it never happened. But I hope this is a good one.
Yeah.
Good
I'm
feeling about.
interested. I'm interested. I mean, I don't really know much about C, but I do like Jimmy, so I'm like, let's check it out and see what we think. So
So it looks very romantic.
it does. It's funny. I was like the whole time I was watching, I had a stupid grin on my face, which is usually a good indication for me that my entire body is going because it's so like looks sweet and romantic and cute.
I'm obsessed with the dancing. I'm just going to go over and rewatch that 100 times.
I need to definitely watch it again. I was gonna rewatch it, and I
Mhm.
thought, you know what? No, let's just do the reaction on the
Yeah.
first watch only. And
Yeah.
but yeah, so I guess my first thoughts is that it felt quite different from the original pilot trailer. Like I feel like we got more of Jimmy's character Mock's like backstory, which I feel was what was missing in the pilot trailer. Unless I'm
Mhm.
remembering it wrong, but that's how I remember. There was something I think I said to you when we talked about potentially watching this that I wasn't sure that I would have a lot to say because I didn't really seem to be a whole heap of like conflict or like mystery or like whatever. And so
Mhm.
I'm glad to see that they've introduced that. It made me like kind of sit up and pay a bit more attention. But yeah, as I said, I smiled like a fool pretty much the entire trailer. Even when it was getting sad, I was still had this stupid grin on my face. Um, it looks
Find it interesting how in the beginning how he loses vision just like this because usually in series they have like a traumatic thing that
well,
happens like
it's
yeah,
funny. I'd
his
be
head
really
or something.
curious to know like what they're gonna call whatever's wrong with him. From
Mhm.
coming from a medical background because usually eye stuff is usually like trauma based, so like a car accident or something gets
Mhm.
you get a protrusion, something flies into your eyes, glass, whatever, or like a traumatic brain injury, so you get hit and it affects your optic nerve rather,
Mhm.
or it's like a long time coming, so things like glaucoma and I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, it's slowly you get no vision sort of thing. It's almost like something happened to him. So maybe he had like a bleed or something. Like it'd be interesting to see like what they actually put it down to because it's the way it happens is very unusual. Um, because it didn't look because I was thinking,
20
oh, maybe he's gonna get hit by something or when they started doing it.
he has 20% effective vision.
Mm.
I don't know maybe if they're going to do this in the series or not, but I remember I think in the first trailer they mentioned something. You have a deadline, not a deadline. Like you're going to a countdown to the day he is going to lose the vision.
Mm.
But here they did not mention anything like this.
No, but
I want.
they did mention that it had gotten worse from the initial like whatever happened, that it had reduced further. They did actually mention that. So I think it was implied that he'll eventually go like fully blind. It looks like it's going to slot straight into the Dangerous Romance spot. In other words, it'll be following straight on from that. Friday the 10th, it looks like it's starting. The thing that I found really interesting, I guess, about the trailer is that it's really colorful and bright.
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
It is, but
White.
it's such an
Mhm.
interesting, like, representation considering, like, the main one of the main characters is literally losing their sight, and the world is gonna become really dark for them soon. So,
Mhm.
I was like I was watching that and I'm, like, noticing things. I'm thinking, "Okay, well, hang on, this might actually be something that we can talk about." I feel like there's definitely some interesting things, so I guess we'll have to wait and see how it goes, but uh, it did
Mhm.
pique it piqued my interest.
Namtan is also in the series. I went online, like I don't remember how exactly it was, just something like one will not be able to see his future and the other one doesn't have a future.
Yeah, something like
Do you
yeah,
remember?
no, what I think because, like, Jimmy is this character where, like, he can't get out of his own way, like, his own worst enemy,
Mhm.
that's what it looks like. And it's interesting because the other thing that I saw him in that I liked, 'cause as we said, we only saw bits and pieces of Vice Versa, was Bad Buddy, where he was, like, constantly, like, picking fights and causing trouble, like, so it was kind of familiar to see him, like, sort of being that antagonistic kind of personality again.
Mhm.
But obviously there's backstory there because he doesn't seem like he's just like that for no reason. If you see him with Day's character, is Day, isn't it?
Yeah,
Days, yeah.
Day
When you
and Book.
and Mock, yeah. So if when you see him with Day, he's like hard in the beginning, but he's still like not in a mean way. Like he's trying to get him to like snap out of it, sort of thing. And then later on it's really sweet. So he can't be a bad person. Like he seems
Maybe
too kind
he's
for that.
maybe he's impulsive and direct and it gets him into trouble, but it helps create a relationship with Day because he's honest with, and he probably being impulsive doesn't overthink everything that he does in regards to Day, which maybe
Yeah.
Day appreciates.
Well, I mean, yeah, you would imagine like his family will be treating him with like, kid gloves, and also like for someone who is suddenly losing one of your like well, your main sense essentially, having someone interact with you who isn't going to bullshit you and lie to your face essentially and make
Mhm.
you think, like they're just said really straightforward, is going to be
Mhm.
a welcome sort of breath of fresh air because you're not having to try and look for these social cues. You're not trying to have to
Mhm.
see their expression to see, like how do they really feel or whatever. Like he's very kind of
It's kind of, you're not playing games, you're not playing by the
yeah.
rules, so
So it'd be
none,
interesting
you
to
don't have
see.
to follow the
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether that like holds through the drama or
rules.
whether, because he thinks, at a certain point it'd be in Day's best interest, like if he isn't in his life or like something like that, where he starts to maybe like not be as truthful. It
Oh,
definitely looks interesting.
yeah,
It's interesting because I went onto my drama list and it literally
yeah.
says in here that he has partial blindness following an accident. So it didn't look like an accident. So um it looked like almost like he like a camera flashed and he reacted to it. Like I'm sure that's not something that would actually happen. I don't know. It'd be
Maybe it's
interesting to see what
before the game and they didn't want to spoil the scene.
maybe possibly. It'd be interesting to see, as I said, what it actually is. And if it's not an accident, if it's a disorder of some kind or whatever, then what they're putting it down to, or whether they're just gonna like kind of gloss over that because that's not actually important, if that makes any sense. Like it is obviously, but it's not like for the end point of the story that information isn't like vital. Yeah, what you say here, it says here in this might be old. I wonder if they changed it because, like you said, in the pilot trailer they gave a deadline. On the
Yeah,
description for this, it says following an accident, and then it says he finds out he has approximately 180 days until he loses his vision.
I hope they don't do that. It's kind of
Like a
silly.
countdown. It sounds really like yeah.
Well,
I
let's
mean,
see.
yeah. Anyway, I have mixed feelings, but I'm feeling way more enthusiastic
I'm totally
about it.
going to watch this trailer.
Yeah, now that we've seen this trailer, it's piqued my interests, that's for sure. So
Okay, so let's see what happens.
yeah,
We're going to probably post some polls, check
check Twitter,
what, yeah,
check Tumblr.
check and see what, yes.
Yeah. So like
But
yeah, so basically if you want us to react to this show, if you're interested in listening to us deep dive into the characters and their motives and methods and madness, if you want to see us go down the spiral of the rabbit hole of obsession, yeah, let us know.
I don't know. But at the same time, we might start watching it and lose interest because we
That's
need
what
to be
Morella does.
obsessed, I'm sorry.
No,
It
but
is
this
what
time,
it is.
I mean, the podcast is critical obsession, so we have to be. There
Yeah.
has to be a certain level of obsession involved.
Yes.
And I'm not there yet, but we need more. So we'll give it a go and see what happens.
I wasn't there with the trailer for Dangerous Romance either, though.
No, I
I
know.
got
I
obsessed at the end
remember
of
you were
episode two.
kind of a bit like, and you because you didn't even watch it straight away, did you? You didn't watch it until I sort of was like, watch
I
it.
don't really remember.
But yeah,
No.
it's. I think we need to see at least the first episode to really know how we're
Maybe
gonna
at least
feel about it.
2 or 3 of the first episodes.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious now. I actually want to go now and rewatch the trailer because I'm curious enough to rewatch it again.
I guess that's it. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yep, we'll catch you next time.